situation. And if you see in the middle, the skills they have are the skills that is expected of them, outbound skills, is giving form, aesthetics, shape, beauty, right? And they had a very simple, straightforward client, and they had a small design team, limited set of tools. That gray box is a toolkit, yeah, limited set of tools, design, drawing, architecture, or probably computers and stuff like that. And they have it's called the waving the wand, you know. They disappear into the forest, they disappear into some part of the world, and produce a wonderful design. And the kind of design press we have, which addresses this level, is straightforward. It's very traditional kind of journalism, which is ID, wallpaper, how different kinds of blogs, social media, Moco Loco, and all these things, they are primarily communicating ideas. So that's the kind of journalism we have at Design 1.0. A Design 2.0 world becomes a little complex, because the complexity has gone up. You're no longer communicating, you're talking about experiences, service, and product. This is couple of things here is what Mr. Hirano was mentioning in the morning. The Kanzai approach is all about enhancing experiences of people. So as a designer, when you start designing, you think differently. You don't think about your skills, you think about using many tools to actually get those ideas out of people, customers. You still have form-giving responsibilities, the outbound skills, but you also observe human beings. You become a bit of an anthropologist, and you've got to feel it. And most often, you have to get off your air-conditioned, beautiful ivory tower and get into the streets. Maybe wear slightly dirty clothes because you have to look like them. And then you move with them, hang around with them, and understand them. And a lot of designers are moving into that domain. And if you see, there are multidisciplinary teams. It's not a design only. There are all kinds of people working. And journalism, the press, the media, you read at that level is different. Business Week, Fast Company, Design Management Review, and these are all design. It's a journal, but it's written by professionals. Very few achans actually write stuff there. And various kinds of other blogs and social media. And then you have Design 3.0, which is about organizational transformation design. It's about how you change companies, how you change associations. This is where TCDC or OKMD or any innovation body, National Institute of Innovation, whatever, they will eventually have to get there. And if you see, Nesta is primarily at this level. I was actually talking to Sir Chris Powell about it, and he said, yes, we are not into telling people what to do. We operate at a different level. And most UK funding bodies are actually have already moved there. And I'm also involved in a little blog, if you want, on United States design policy, because I did some work on design policy before. And there's a small group of people from around the world, they talk about it. They are at the next level, which is social transformation. And they're primarily talking about how do you apply design thinking to solve national problems. Because if you see, the challenges are industry, organization, and systems. How do you change a large system? For example, transport system in Bangkok. Okay, how do you change the transport system to make it better than Singapore? So you're talking about a very complex problem. You're talking about BTS and onwards to the motor side, to every possible mode of transport has to be analyzed, and you have to streamline it, and then you have a creative city. Okay? So all these are connected. When you get into large problems like these, creative city, creative economy, you have to change the way you think. And design can really, really help. Bits of those ideas are in the documents. For example, how a company helped a hospital improve its service to all its patients and potential who will come there. You use this kind of a thinking, this kind of a process. And now you have not just the outbound skills, which is design, drawing and stuff, but you also understand human beings, but you also do what you call as participatory co-creation. You work along with the people whom you are actually producing products for. You're not sitting in your beautiful air-conditioned office, but you're working with a little fellow who will use the transport. You follow him, you sit with him, understand his problems. And that is basically the expected outbound skill. Inbound, we need to be less egoistical. We need to understand human beings more. Team working has to be understood. Collaborative working is important. Designers are famously egoistical people. Very, very egoistical. Even if they're wrong, they will fight you, but because they think they're right. And then the kind of journalism, again, is slightly moved. Now, if you go to the UK Design Council website, which is a counterpart of TCDC in UK, which has been there for 44 years, so, I mean, big brother, whereas you're the little ones, the kind of stuff they produce on the website is mainly addressing this. They're not talking about how beautiful it is or how they have moved away. They have left it to other people to do it. They've moved away and they're doing other kinds of stuff. They're actually empowering companies, and the kind of things they do is, that's our long-term plan. I mean, we should probably get there. Finally, this is a bit this is a bit heavy now. Social transformation. You're looking at, what are your problems? The planet, the country, and the society. Global warming, how do you solve? Poverty, how do you reduce it? Equality, how do you... Racism, those are problems we have. And design thinking can help. Now, I was telling you about the US design policy blog. So, not really blog, it's a little group of people, we talk on Yahoo groups. And where we talk about these issues. And my point was, United States is doing design policy now. They don't have a design policy. Right? You're doing it now in 2009. You should stop talking to the United States, because the impact of that thinking is around the world. So you have to start thinking big. So yeah, I mean, this is really, really complex. This is slightly beyond our understanding, but this is how it is. If you see, Design 1.0 is very clear, small scale, it's easy, you can manage. And 2.0 is getting a little complex, because you have systems theory, it's system thinking, and you look at larger aspects. Then Design 3.0 is fuzzy, Design 4.0 is fuzzy and really large. Design can work on 6 functions of a company, basically, if well applied. Manufacturing, technology, business, organizational behavior, human values, and design. These are 6 functions of a company, and design can really impact in all these 6 areas, in the sense. Now, suppose you're talking about business. If you teach the business people design thinking, we will not have the kind of problem, the economic crisis we had recently. Now, this was a big, big debate started by Harvard Business School and some professors from around the world. Not professors, universities actually. They got into this big debate about 6 months ago. Are we teaching the right skills in our big, beautiful business schools? And a majority, about 60%, said no. We're making them mean machines, greedy people. They don't have empathy. So imagine teaching design